Hi and welcome to my review of the 27-inch iMac. I hope you enjoy. So we're going to do a startup speed test now. I'll just tell you a little bit about the Mac while we're waiting. So this is the obviously late 2012 27-inch iMac. It's the top spec one at £1,699. It's got a 3.2 GHz Intel Core i5 processor with 8 GB of DDR3 RAM, a 1 GB NVIDIA GeForce GTX 675MX graphics card, and obviously comes with OS X Mountain Lion installed. Obviously it's not got a Fusion drive in this one, which will limit the speed, but to be honest, I think that this is fast enough for my needs, therefore I didn't go for the Fusion drive. Obviously for some people it is needed for the fastness, but for me I only needed the 7200 RPM hard drive that comes as standard. So we're now going to test the read and write speed with Blackmagic Disk Speed Test, and the results we're getting here are 122.7 for the write speed and 123.2 for the read speed, which is pretty good really, considering it doesn't have a SSD. It's got a 7200 RPM hard drive, so that's pretty good read and write speeds. So now we know the read and write speeds, we're going to move on to opening applications all at once. So we're now going to open all the programs at once and see how it handles it. It's got 8 GB of RAM. This is the top spec 27-inch, £1,699, and it's handled that very well. I would say open them as fast as you want them to open. So we're now going to go for a shutdown speed, which should be extremely quick. So here we go, and we've started now, and it's off with just over 4 seconds because of my delay, which is extremely fast. So I'm now going to take you on a tour around the iMac. So we can see from the front the extremely high resolution screen on the 27-inch that's because of the new laminating process is 70% less reflective, and you can really see that. Went to see one of the old iMacs the other day and you can clearly see yourself in it, whereas this one there is hardly any reflection at all and you can't see yourself when using. So looking from the side on, we can see clearly that it's extremely thin, and from an angle it even looks ridiculously thin. Completely side on, you can see the way it bulges out the back, but I still think it looks great even with that bulge. I think that's just part of the great design from Apple. Obviously it comes with, like all the other iMacs, it's an all-in-one. The screen can be tilted up and down to your specific viewing position, so if you're taller it's want to be tilted up or down. I think it's really great. So we'll now move on to the ports that are on the iMac. So as you can see at the back there are several ports. So we've got the auxiliary port, the SD port, then we've got 4 USB 3.0 ports, so you can fit lots of things, 2 Thunderbolt ports, and then an Ethernet port at the end for people that don't have wireless. You can also see, which we'll close up now, is the slot at the back of the iMac, which is just above the power input place, which is where you slot in additional RAM. This is only available on the 27-inch model, which is a bonus of buying that. So you, as you can see, you pull out the power cable, there is a small button, you push the button in, the top comes open, and then you can put in additional RAM. So now I'm going to show you a high graphics game that's been built for the iMac, which is a racing game, so Real Racing 2. A very popular high graphics game on the iPod and iPad. It's now been remade for the iMac. It's a really good game. As you can see, the iMac is handling the high graphics easily. With the 1GB GeForce graphics card, it's just destroying this game. So you can see that it's absolutely got no trouble in playing any sort of game. And this is one of the more high graphics games, which means it'll play all the other games. I may have another review when I'm playing Call of Duty as well, but it handles that absolutely amazing as well. So, you know, it wins. So that's the end of the review now. I've just done a quick overview of the full iMac, how it works, what it looks like. I think Apple have done a great job. Again, all their products are just great, if not a little bit expensive. So we can see from the review that it's quick, but stylish at the same time. From the scores that it got, 122.7, 123.2 on the Blackmagic disk speed test. I mean, it booted up in 33 seconds and it shut down with just over 4 seconds, which is, you know, amazing speed even without the SSD fusion drive. So I'm going to give this 10 out of 10. It's just a great piece of kit. Thanks for watching and subscribe.